As you can tell, I've got a super show for you this time around because I'm dressed like my buddy the Green Lantern. Because this is the summer of superheroes, people. So you've got Green Lantern, the very famous DC Comics hero, also one of the members of the Justice League of America, or just the Justice League, drop that America from that. Well, Green Lantern got his own major motion picture this summer starring Ryan Reynolds. You know, the guy who does all these romantic comedies with Sandra Bullock and all these other hot Hollywood starlets? Well, yes, Ryan Reynolds stars as Green Lantern this summer in the Summer of Superheroes. So Green Lantern's going to join your comic book buddies from the X-Men, Thor, and Captain America to be your Ubermen of the summer. So people, you got to understand that, you know, this spandex outfit I'm wearing with the white gloves and the ring, the jewelry, well, this is how a Superman dresses. This is how an Uberman dresses. This is how your prototypical archetypal male dresses, you know, in form-fitting spandex, you know, and if you're a Batman, well, you're either wearing form-fitting leather or form-fitting latex. Well, this is how a man dresses, people, okay? Now, you gotta understand, with these movie blockbusters aimed at adults, aimed at guys my age, in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, like me. So the idea is to have us grow up reading about the exploits of people like Green Lantern, Superman, Batman, Captain America, the Hulk. Well, we can read about those as children, but as we grow up, as we become adults, well, there's more adult, mature presentations of this childlike material. So that way, guys in their 20s, 30s, and 40s can remain childlike throughout their lives, throughout their adult lives. So this is what we get. Now, with Green Lantern, you've got to understand, the original Green Lantern was created in the 40s, and it's going to be draped in all this mysticism. But in the 1950s, DC Comics reimagined Green Lantern as basically a space cop. That's right. Now it's the Green Lantern Corps. It's going to be thousands of these aliens from across the universe. Well, they band together to create a universal police force. So Green Lantern, he's a cop. So you can look to Green Lantern as this spandex-clad Uberman. Well, he's a policeman. He's just looking to bust you. But instead of having a badge, well, the Green Lantern Corps, they wear a ring. You know, an all-powerful piece of jewelry, an all-powerful fashion accessory. That's where they get their power. But like I said, the Green Lantern Corps, they're a bunch of cops. But since all these cops are wearing a ring and matching outfits, well, you gotta understand, by wearing this ring, all these Green Lanterns, well, that means they're all married to one another. Because a ring is going to be a sign of marriage, sign of matrimony, just this unending bond. A ring symbolizing that. The Green Lantern Corps, a bunch of cops, male, female, and whatever, well, these cops are married to one another. So basically what you've got is same-sex marriage through an international, universal police force. The Green Lantern Corps getting their power, expressing their power through a ring, a fashion accessory, symbol of marriage. So yes, the Green Lantern Corps, you know, dressed in all this manly spandex, promoting same-sex marriage under the law. You have got to love it. So what we're going to find is most of these male superheroes, well, they wear form-fitting spandex, very brightly colored outfits, and capes. It's quite crazy. But when you look at this stuff in a comic book, and you see Superman just filling out that costume, a form-fitting costume that looks like it's painted on him, when you look at that in a comic book, well, you're going to have that suspension of disbelief. It's going to seem quite normal. And so, when you get to see these cinematic representations of these guys wearing these garish colors, form-fitting, leather, latex, and spandex, you're going to think that's what a real man wears. Something like this. This is something a real man wears. Now, if you look at these comic book groups like the Justice League, well, look at these guys. They look like they're ready for a gay pride festival. They look like they're ready to march in a gay pride parade. I mean, look at my guy Submariner. You know, the Marvel Comics version of Aquaman? Well, this guy just goes around wearing nothing but a pair of Speedos and wings on his feet. But this is the prototypical image of the prime male, the alpha male in comic books. The Submariner with those tight-fitting Speedos, he's ready for a gay pride march. He is. So this is going to remind me of back in 2006 when the Warner Brothers movie Superman Returns came out. So I'm going to be hanging out with a bunch of these bong-smoking comic book fans, and they're really going to love all these superhero and sci-fi movies and comic books and cartoons. But they're going to have this comment about the 2006 Superman Returns Superman outfit. Basically just a slight redesign of the classic outfit we've all come to know and love. You know, this alpha male dressed in blue tights, red leather knee-high boots, red underwear on the outside, a yellow belt, and a long red cape. Okay, so that's the outfit that we're going to be familiar with. But my bong-smoking comic book buddies at the time, well, they said the outfit that Brandon Routh wore in Superman Returns, well, they're going to say that particular Superman outfit is gay. Can you believe it? So these guys are going to say, wow, that new Superman outfit, it's so gay. And so I asked one of them, well, what makes this outfit so gay? What makes this Superman Returns Superman outfit so gay? And one of these guys is going to tell me, well, it's the bikini cut on the underwear, the bikini cut on the red underwear that he's wearing on the outside of his clothes. It's that bikini cut of these red underwear on the Superman Returns Superman outfit. Well, according to these guys, that's what makes this new Superman outfit gay. Just something a gay man would wear. But somehow, that Superman outfit worn by George Reeves on the 1950s TV show, well, that's just something a hetero would wear. You know, the Superman outfit worn by Christopher Reeve in the Superman movies starting in the 70s, that's something a straight guy would wear. The Superman costume worn by Dean Cain in the ABC television show Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, well, that's just an outfit a normal straight guy would wear. But this Superman Returns outfit with the bikini cut, underwear on the outside of his pants, well, somehow, the costume worn by Brandon Routh in Superman Returns, that costume is going to be considered gay. You know, the blue tights, the red leather boots, the yellow belt, the red underwear on the outside, and that long red cape. Well, that particular outfit is gay. Now, to me, that's going to be hilarious. It's going to be a scream, but it's going to show you the confusion that's wrought by all of this stuff, because we're going to grow up with all these cartoons and comic books. We're going to grow up as children with this stuff, so it's going to seem very normal on the printed page. And now, when you see a man dressed like this, you know, with white gloves and a fashion accessory that symbolizes marriage and is going to be the way he exerts his power, this is going to be the outfit of the uber male. Very confusing. Very confusing. Now, you're going to find that the guys in these superhero comic books, well, they're obviously ready to go march in that gay pride festival. They are. But the women in these comic books, well, the women in these comic books, well, they dress like hookers. The women in comic books dress like strippers. The women in comic books are built like porn stars. You see it all over the place, people. And so it's going to seem normal for women with these 38 double Ds running around in tight-fitting spandex, sometimes just a bathing suit. Well, that's going to be what we pimp to children, to kids. These uber women with 38 double Ds dressed in hardly anything, well, that's normal for women in these comic books, and that's what's going to be pimped to children. That's what's pimped to children. Now, I'm going to see recently on the CW, you know, the CW TV network, well, they have a show called Angel's Friends. Angel's Friends. Now, Angel, she's a hot number. Oh yeah, Angel, She is a tall blonde with legs up to here, people. She wears, you know, these thigh-high white leather boots, mini skirts, a midriff-bearing top, and that long flowing blonde hair. Oh, people, she is a hot number. And Angel's friends, oh, people, if Angel's friends came to one of my old school Halloween parties, oh, I would try my best to keep those babes there all night. Hot stuff, dressing like strippers. But this Angel's friends is going to be about all this angels and devil stuff. Some of it using biblical language and names so that your kids aged 6 to 13, because that's who Angel's friends is directed to, kids 6 to 13. So those kids watching this can see all this hyped up sexuality mixed with all this angels and devil stuff, with Angel and her friends actually sometimes working with these devils. Yeah, going to create all these alliances between angels and devils in heaven and in hell below. It's going to be like Twilight, which is for the teen crowd. Well, Angel's friends is for 6 to 13-year-olds. And this is the kind of stuff that's being pimped to your children. So when you're wondering why your daughter wants to dress like a stripper, like a prostitute, like a hooker, well, just look no further than Angel's friends. And then look no further than Black Canary, Wonder Woman, Catwoman, She-Hulk. Look no further than these superheroes dressed like prostitutes. Look no further than Angel's friends dressed like streetwalkers. Look no further than that when you're wondering why your daughters want to dress like streetwalkers. It's permeating our culture. And unless you people start making moral decisions to actually go through this stuff and actually look at it and analyze it, well, your children and you are going to fall prey to all this propaganda. You are. And so, let's talk about Wonder Woman. Let's talk about Wonder Woman, because it's really going to show you how these superheroes are really just extensions of these Greek, Roman, and Egyptian gods. These are going to be represented through the superheroes that you see in American pop culture. So I'm going to have several of these books. This one is Wonder Woman, The Complete History. I'm going to find out that Wonder Woman was created by a man named William Moulton Marston. Do you understand that Marston is the inventor of the lie detector? So when you see Wonder Woman with that magic lasso that makes people tell the truth, well, her creator, William Moulton Marston, who's going to go by Charles Moulton for his pseudonym for all these comic books, well, he's the creator of the lie detector test. Yes. And so this guy is going to be big time into Greek and Roman culture. And so he's going to realize, well, with all these superheroes going around in the 30s and 40s, not a lot of the women getting their chance to mix it up just like the guys. So he creates Wonder Woman, originally called Suprema the Wonder Woman, but then her name changed to Wonder Woman. So the creator of Wonder Woman, he himself tells you that Wonder Woman is psychological propaganda. So let me read this from Wonder Woman, The Complete History. This is William Moulton Marston speaking. Frankly, Wonder Woman is psychological propaganda for the new type of woman who should, I believe, rule the world. There isn't enough love in the male organism to run this planet peacefully. Woman's body contains twice as many love-generating organs and endocrine mechanisms as the male. People, the creator of Wonder Woman openly tells you that Wonder Woman is psychological propaganda. And he's going to talk about the woman's body containing twice as many love-generating organs and endocrine mechanisms as the male. This is mind-blowing stuff. So you've got to understand, Wonder Woman is steeped in this Roman, Greek mythology. So according to Wonder Woman's lore, her mother created her just from a lump of clay. Wonder Woman really going to be based on Diana and Isis. You know Wonder Woman, but do you remember Isis? Do you remember Isis, people? The Saturday morning TV show? Isis comes from Egyptian lore. Isis. So, let's go back to the book of gods and goddesses and find out what it has to say about Isis. You know, your Saturday morning TV hero, a hot babe, by the way. Isis, smoking hot for the kids. Isis was a popular mother goddess, her lap being held to represent the throne of Egypt. She was adept at healing and magic, and Egyptians believed that she could change her physical form as well. Isis was the sister consort of Osiris. So Osiris is going to be the Egyptian god of the earth, and Isis is going to be the sister consort, the sister and wife of Osiris, because Egyptian royalty, well, they were big time into this, sleeping with brothers and sisters, all this incest stuff, big time. So, Isis was the sister and wife of Osiris and helped gather his body parts after Seth had scattered them across Egypt. In one of these myths about Isis gathering up the body parts of her husband brother Osiris, on one of these myths, Isis made Osiris's penis rise into an erection from his dead body, masturbated him with her hand, and from the resulting seed made their son, the avenging heir, Horus. Okay, so according to the book of gods and goddesses, Isis, you know, the comic book and TV show heroine for children in the 70s, well, she masturbated the dead body of her husband, brother. And from that masturbation, that seed created Horus, just the avenging angel of Osiris. Now, people, when I go to the Isis comic book put out by DC Comics in the 70s to go along with this TV show, well, they're going to talk about Isis's, adventures. Going to have one of these adventures where she's dealing with all this Egyptian iconography, some crazy pharaoh. Well, in this book, they're going to show the legend of Isis. And it's going to be basically a complete printed page talking about what I just read from the book of God and Goddesses. It's going to be a little bit cleaned up, though. But they are going to talk about it. So here it's going to say, Isis was the wife of the god Osiris. Okay, so DC Comics says Isis was the wife of the god Osiris. But they leave out the part that Isis was also his sister. Okay, they're just going to say, for the kids out there, we don't want to let you know that Isis was actually a sister of Osiris, but they still got it on. Well, DC Comics doesn't want to let the kids know that while they're pimping Isis to these kids on television and in these comic books. They're just going to say Isis was the wife of the god Osiris. So when Re, or Ra, the sun god, was raised to the heavens, Osiris took his place as ruler of earth. However, his brother Set killed Osiris. So Set, the brother of Osiris, killed Osiris. Set was god of evil and was depicted with a head that looked something like a pig with a donkey's ears. Okay? Set had thrown Osiris's body into the Nile, but Isis, the wife and sister of Osiris, after much difficulty, found the body. Okay? So instead of burying her dead husband, Isis used her magical charms to bring him back to life. So DC Comics is going to say Isis used her magical charms to bring her husband back to life. The Book of Gods and Goddesses is going to let you know that Isis used masturbation to bring her husband, brother, Osiris, back to life. And so you're going to have these slightly sanitized versions, but hyper-sexed up visions of these gods and goddesses so your kids can enjoy it. And as you grow up, you can enjoy it. Because when you see Isis, the real Isis on these TV shows, she's a hot babe. And she's a hot Caucasian babe. Even though Isis would be an Egyptian goddess. Egypt is in Africa. So any representation of Isis, you would think that would be a sister, an African babe. But no, Isis In the 1970s TV show, Isis is going to be a hot Caucasian babe wearing, you know, leather boots and a short skirt and just people. I think she's hot to this day. And so when you see Wonder Woman, you know, Linda Carter from the CBS and ABC TV show from the 70s, she is smoking hot, people. Everybody knows how hot Linda Carter is as Wonder Woman. We love it. So, as you have to understand by now, these gods and goddesses from Egyptian, Greek, and Roman culture, they're still around today. They are still here being represented by your superhero pop culture. So it's going to be my boy Christopher Knowles and artist Joseph Michael Linsner who write the book Our Gods Wear Spandex. And this is going to talk about how these Greek, Roman, and Egyptian gods, all this sorcery and all these old tales of magic, well, they're still going to be alive with your superheroes of today. Superman is going to be a messiah. Obviously, you people should know this. Superman is going to be sent from the heavens by his heavenly father, Jor-El. Jesus is going to be sent from the heavens by his heavenly father, Yahweh. Superman and Jesus are going to have these great powers. Superman and Jesus are going to be killed. Superman and Jesus both rise from the dead. So people, you've got to be able to see this stuff. It's right in front of your face. So when I look at this book, Our Gods Wear Spandex, I'm going to go back to just talking about Wonder Woman. Okay? So it's going to talk about William Moulton Marston and how he came up with Wonder Woman. So this is going to say, though Marston's portrayal of Wonder Woman is a primer on classical paganism and mythology, he took great liberties in fashioning Wonder Woman's complex identity. She's not merely a female superhero. She is a pagan goddess. She is sculpted from mud by her mother, Hippolyte, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, at the command of the goddess Aphrodite, who then gives her the breath of life. As such, Wonder Woman is also a female golem in the classical sense. Wonder Woman recalls Captain Marvel. You know the guy who says Shazam? Well, Wonder Woman recalls Captain Marvel in that she enjoys the patronage of several gods. She has the beauty of Aphrodite, the strength of Hercules, the wisdom of Athena, and the speed of Mercury. Wonder Woman's Amazon cohorts wear bracelets as a reminder of potential slavery to men and live on the idyllic Paradise Island. Whatever Wonder Woman's feminist virtues, the fact remains that she is a scantily clad beauty, taking part in stories engineered to appeal to bondage fetishists. To read Wonder Woman's adventures is to confront stories that are absolutely drenched in transgressive sexuality and rendered in a style that betrays a distinctly decadent influence. And Wonder Woman's favorite exclamation is "Suffering Sappho," a reference to the poet laureate of Lesbos, lesbians. People, our gods wear spandex. These spandex-wearing gods pimped to your children. If you don't understand Wonder Woman's tie to all this, if you don't understand Superman's tie to all this, look no further than Angel's Friends on the CW. Angel's Friends aimed at children 6 to 13. The FCC, the federal government's Federal Communications Commission, well, they're going to say any station that runs Angel's Friends, showing all these stripper babes making alliances as angels with devils, well, the FCC is going to say any station that runs this, well, you're going to meet our guidelines, the FCC standards for educating and informing children. Are you getting this, people? You've got to be paying attention to this, because as you see all this junk in our culture, as you see this junk, this violence and depravity and fornication weaved and just pimped about our society, you can't just sit by and wonder why all this stuff is happening. Look to your pop culture. Look to what is being pimped to your children. Look at what is being pimped to you so that you remain childlike. Look at this stuff. There's no wondering why. Now, when I do this show, and I talk about things like the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, and the Federal Reserve, and Osama bin Laden being a CIA asset, well, I know most of you people are bored by that stuff. But when I put this on, spandex outfit, and I talk about these superheroes, box office bombs and hits, and then I talk about these bombshell babes dressed like strippers, like hookers, like prostitutes, well, that's when you people come out and watch this stuff. That's when it resonates with you. So understand how you're being manipulated. You've got to find better moral guidance, people. I keep telling you that guidance is right here in this good book, the Holy Bible. You need to be reading this stuff. Very contemporary stuff in here. It's going to shed light on all this stuff that I talked about here. It's going to shed light on it. So my time is up. I've got to go. But thanks for watching my super show.